What are the top ranked school districts in Orange County, California? Let's take a look at the list, and you might be surprised by how many good school districts there are outside of Irvine. So here we have the 2024 best school districts in Orange County, according to niche.com. So sometimes you may be surprised, sometimes Irvine Unified, even though it's so famous, it actually is ranked under Laguna Beach. But Laguna Beach is very, very small, so, you know, when you're smaller, it's easier to be ranked higher because you just have less students. But we always like to say on this channel that no matter where you live in Orange County, you have options in terms of highly ranked schools. Maybe the school that you're zoned for isn't the most highly ranked according to the rankings, you know, if you care about the rankings, but you have options. And just, you know, case in point, here we have what niche.com says is the #1 school district, Irvine Unified. No surprise, but even if you go all the way down to the, quote, lowest ranked school district, and we also want to note that some of these aren't even ranked. For example, I don't know why, but like Fountain Valley Elementary School District, it gets an A, but it's not ranked. I don't know why.
Or Cypress Elementary.
Or Cypress Elementary School. I don't know why. But Santa Ana Unified, it still gets a B+. That's number 15. And, you know, Anaheim Union High School District, that's a B+. But, you know, if you click on it, that's one nice thing about niche.com. You can actually go down. If you click on the school districts and you can see a map and you can see that, you know, there's 4 high schools that are A+, 1 that's A-. Again, this is if you care about the rankings, right? You know, some people, they don't really care. They think, you know, it more matters when they interview the school or they know the teachers and that kind of stuff. So it's all, you know, subjective.
And I will say that niche.com is certainly not the end-all be-all of school rankings either. So let's just do my normal caveat. One, okay, there's another resource that's really popular. It's greatschools.org.
For sure.
U.S. News and World Report does stuff. Like, there's a bunch of different publications. I'm sure the Orange County Register also has things. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different resources. But on top of that, regardless of what the rankings state, you know, it's always best, you know, what they might think is good for a student may not be what you think is ideal, right? So like Irvine, for instance, Irvine Unified ranks obviously #1 on this. And obviously on a lot of the rankings are almost all of them. They rank right up there, you know, with the top. So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad.
And we're licensed realtors here in the state of California. And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the blue skies. I love the beautiful weather. I can't wait to move out here now. The problem is I'm not local. I may be out of state. I may be even out of the country. So I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's when to reach out to us. So we can have that conversation, really find out specifically what you're looking for, and we can be your boots on the ground. We can actually identify these homes with you, and we can actually scope out the homes, doing virtual tours of not just the properties, but the neighborhoods as well. So what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.
And for some people, it's just actually not the right fit for their child. They just don't feel like it gives their, you know, they may feel like it's a little bit too much pressure on their child or what have you. And so I always recommend, you know, go ahead and do your own, you know, research. Talk to the school administrators, see if that's a fit. And also, like, you know, check out the, you know, Facebook forums or whatever. There's, you know, you could talk to different parents of pupils in those schools and just kind of see, is this a good fit, you know, like for your child? So the rankings are great, but at the same time, it's not going to tell you the whole story.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I highly recommend going on to the Facebook pages. Almost any school that you can find in Orange County, it'll have its own Facebook page. You know, ask the principal or whatever, and you can go in there and then ask parents, you know, what is their feeling about the school. Of course, if they're participating in the Facebook page, they probably have good feelings about the school, because if you don't, then you're probably not participating. But, you know, it's a good place to start, right?
For sure. And we know people that have gone both, you know, like for instance, Irvine Unified. We've had people that actually decided it wasn't right for their kid, and so they moved them out to, let's say, Capistrano Unified School District, and vice versa. We had friends that actually moved to Irvine because they wanted that. So it's everywhere. You know, everyone has different feelings about this stuff.
Yeah, because Irvine, even though it's very highly ranked, it does have a dark side. You know, it's very, very competitive. The workload is insane. We have friends that have kids in Irvine Unified. The workload compared to our kids, it's just crazy. Any kid that I know, you know, that our kids are friends with in various different schools throughout Orange County, Irvine always has the highest workload. It's crazy.
And again, for like some parents, that's exactly what they want. Yeah. So they want their child to be challenged, and they feel like their child is up for it. Again, it's all about what your priorities are.
Yeah, to each his own, right? But let's just quickly go through kind of where these are geographically. I mean, you might not be surprised. So another kind of tip too is that if you actually put into Google Maps you type into here, Irvine Unified School District, it will give you the boundaries. Yeah, and here we are with Laguna Beach Unified School District, and you might be surprised that part of it is actually in Aliso Viejo, and there's a little part of it that's in Newport Coast. So not all these school districts that we're going to talk about are just the cities that they name.
Don't forget Laguna Woods is also.
Look at Sean's being facetious. That's a 55 and over community. For example, Los Alamitos, like we'll show you in just a second, but it also includes Seal Beach and it includes Rossmore, yeah, and then Huntington Beach, that includes Fountain Valley High School. So, that's why, you have to reach out to Sean because, he knows a lot about where the different boundaries are and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because it gets a little confusing in that, so for instance, you have some cities where they literally have 4 different school districts attached to them.
Yeah.
Conversely, you have some cities where they're one of like 8 or 10 cities that are part of one massive school district. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And depending on if it's an elementary school, the elementary school might have school districts. It's a lot of stuff. So that's where we have that conversation. We can kind of tell you, okay, this is how what the lay of the land is for that specific property or neighborhood. Where okay, these are the school districts that you'd be most likely going to.
Yeah. So unsurprisingly, Irvine Unified, it's Irvine.
And also it's restrictive too. So
it's very restrictive, meaning that what you're zoned for, that is where your kid goes. I personally, this is anecdotal, I've never known anyone be able to transfer within Irvine.
Yeah, not to say it can't happen, but it's highly unlikely. And again, so wherever your house is, that elementary school, that junior high school, that high school, that's where you're going most likely. Yeah. Whereas there's other school districts that are actually, not to say that it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to be able to transfer, but it is there's much more fluidity to that.
Of course, when you look at it, if you see I don't know, it doesn't seem like there'd be any, quote, bad choice if you do end up in Irvine. So, there's
some people get really nitpicky though. They have to have University High School or Northwood High School. So those are the 2 in Irvine that are the top ranked ones, although the rest of them are in the top 10 anyway. So it's like, okay, well, are we splitting hairs here? Just kind of depends on what you're looking for.
And then, number 2, Laguna Beach, just quickly, I know we already showed this, but, it's obviously Laguna Beach and then parts of Aliso Viejo, parts of Newport Coast. So now let's go to number 3, Los Alamitos Unified School District. This gets an A+ according to niche.com. And so, there you go. It's Seal Beach, Los Alamitos, and Rossmore, essentially, and parts of Cypress, too.
Yeah, and also what's nice about this is that, again, and we have other videos about it, but if you do have, let's say, to do business in LA, if the commute, and you want to be still behind the orange curtain, you want to still have the Orange County lifestyle, you still aren't losing out on the schools in any way, shape, or form. You still have very good schools just south of the LA County border.
And then we actually have done a tour of this area. So, check out our tours on our channel to get a tour of that area if you're interested in that. And then, Huntington Beach Union High School District, this is an A+. So Huntington Beach, what's weird about Huntington Beach is that this one is just the high schools, which actually also includes Fountain Valley High, which is kind of random. But yeah, so Huntington Beach actually has quite a few school districts. I think it actually has 4
it's a little
that cover the city. So that's one of the ones that, depending on where you are, you might be zoned for something else.
Yeah, and again, we're kind of been not warming up to Huntington Beach, but really over time we've kind of seen more and more value in Huntington Beach because the price range is actually really good. It's a beach city. It has a ton of just notoriety. People know what Huntington Beach is.
Yeah.
And you're not really sacrificing on the schools either. It's kind of, a lot of times you feel like, okay, if you're in a beach community, you're going to be sacrificing from, educational standpoint. That is not the case.
Yeah. And then next on this list is Fullerton Joint Union High School District. Again, this is another high school. This is another school district that's only high schools. And here we have the district. Obviously, you've got, parts of Fullerton, La Habra, Buena Park. And if you care about what are the top ranked high schools, if you actually go to niche.com, this includes Troy High School, which according to niche.com is the #1 high school in Orange County.
And Sunny Hills is also really high up there too.
Sunny Hills is really high up there too. And then you might be confused about the Orange County School of the Arts. This is a very highly ranked school, but you have to try out for it. It's not, you can't just be zoned for this school. People come from LA to go to this school.
Let's just put it this way, I would not be able to get into that school.
Neither would I. So that's why we kind of ignore it, because we're like, you have to be good at the arts to get into
Would you say
school.
It's very niche?
It's very niche. And then you got, so this Troy High School is next to Cal State Fullerton, And then University High School, number 3, technically number 2 for ones that you can just go to. That's next to University of California, Irvine. So you may be seeing a trend.
Yes, I'm noticing a trend.
You're noticing a trend, yes. So now let's go to Capistrano Unified School District. So Sean was saying earlier how some school districts include many cities, many cities. So Capo is one of them. It's the biggest school district in Orange County. It's pretty much just South County, basically.
Yeah, a huge chunk.
Yeah.
And between that and Saddleback Valley are the two basically complete South County.
Yeah.
Except for Laguna Beach, which I don't really consider South County anyway.
No. Yeah, Lake Forest, I consider South County, and it's mostly in Saddleback. Well, I actually think it's all Saddleback.
Yeah, I think Lake Forest is all Saddleback, half of Mission Viejo, part of Rancho Santa Margarita, and then Laguna Hills. So
Capistrano encompasses a huge part of South County, and what's nice about that is, Capistrano it's an A+. So, and you can see all of the different schools down in the map down here. So there's a lot of A's, a lot of
very
A+.
Consistent. You're not really there's not much of a drop off in the entire area. So and also how we were talking about Irvine being very restrictive, Capistrano is actually the again, not to say the opposite, but it is pretty easy, relatively easy to transfer from one school to the other, especially because as large as this is, there's different schools with different focuses as far as education is concerned. Again, in here, especially you do have some dual language immersion schools. So you have some Mandarin immersion schools, you have some Spanish immersion schools. So let's say there's a Mandarin immersion school actually, let's say in Laguna Niguel. There's people that come from all over Capistrano Unified School District. So from all the cities, we know we have people that are coming from Ladera Ranch, for instance, San Clemente, all over the place that will actually go to that school, even though they're not zoned for it.
So just another example of how rankings don't necessarily tell the full story. I mean, this school right here, Richard Henry Dana Elementary School, this is very, very popular school, even though it, quote, only has a B+, again, if you care about the rankings. But it has a Spanish immersion program that is very popular, as well as an ocean science program. So they do Spanish immersion and ocean science together. So this is a very popular school. I see stickers all the time at this school. Go to a soccer field on a Saturday in this area and you will see, I can't even tell you how many bumper stickers at this school. So, you got to do your own research. The rankings are a guide, but it's not everything, right? So next, let's go number 7. Again, still an A+. So I don't know how they're differentiating between all these A+, but Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District. So a very popular city. Sean likes to call it Yorby, Yorba Linda and Placentia. So, up in the northeastern corner of Orange County.
Yeah, another popular place where if you're looking for, again, working in LA and you want, but you still want to be behind the orange curtain, Yorba Linda is another spot. It just kind of depends on where in LA. I don't know if you can guess, but LA is kind of a huge area. Yeah. So depending on where you are, Yorba Linda might be the perfect fit, and you're not sacrificing according to the rankings, as far as schools are concerned.
Yeah. Now let's head down to Tustin. Tustin is number 8. It gets an A, and we love Tustin. It's right next to Irvine. So we always, or Sean really likes, if someone calls him for Irvine and, he starts to get a better idea of what they're looking for, he always asks, would you consider Tustin? It's a great little city.
Yeah, exactly. It's centrally located. It's right off the 5 freeway. It's really close to the 405 freeway. You have a little bit of brand new stuff like in the Tustin Legacy, some semi-new stuff, Tustin Ranch, and then you kind of have some old school stuff like downtown Tustin area where you have some stuff that's built in the early aughts of the 1900s. So you have, for California purposes, for Orange County purposes, that's ancient, right? So we have a little bit of everything going on in Tustin, and again, of course, they have not one but 2 Costco's, and they obviously have some good schools here as well.
Yeah, so we have done a tour of Tustin as well if you are interested in diving more into Tustin. So next up, Newport Mesa, that's an A. So
I'm absolutely this is shocking and appalling.
Sean's joking because he graduated from Newport Mesa, Newport Harbor High School. So Newport and Costa Mesa. And like we said, very small part of Newport Coast is actually part of Laguna Beach Unified School District. So so Costa Mesa, obviously Newport, fantastic. Costa Mesa, we love, so centrally located. So
yeah, and obviously Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, obviously we obviously have Corona Del Mar and Newport Coast. They're all Corona Bar, Newport Coast, Newport Beach are all one city, but sometimes people get a little bit confused by that.
So now let's talk about Saddleback. That's number 10 according to niche.com. And Saddleback really covers the rest of South County, I would say, other than Irvine, which is kind of the king of South County. But, parts of Mission Viejo, Laguna Hills, Lake Forest, parts of Rancho Santa Margarita, Trabuco Canyon, I guess if you live all the way out here.
I don't know if the bus goes out that way though to pick up kids to class.
Doubt it.
Yeah, so Saddleback Valley is number 10 on the list. I think it's still an A on this ranking.
Yeah.
And just kind of encompasses. So between Saddleback Valley and Capistrano Unified School District, those two are pretty much all South County. We're not counting Laguna Beach or Irvine. So but those are the two that kind of encompass multiple cities.
So next up, number 11, Garden Grove Unified School District. It's obviously Garden Grove, and then it goes into parts of Fountain Valley and also parts of Westminster, I believe. So Fountain Valley, that's a very popular, very centrally located city. So depending on where you are, you might be part of the Garden Grove Unified School District. Mm-hmm. So next up, number 12, Brea Olinda Unified School District. So this is very close to Yorba Linda. What's interesting about Brea is that it kind of reminds me of South County in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it does. Like if you go through some of the developments, some of the stuff is pretty new, like relatively speaking. Again, I understand in Orange County, anything built post 2000, we deem as new, which is crazy to think of. That's 24 years old now. But that's just kind of what it is here. So Brea actually has a decent amount of new developments that took place post 2000, and it does have that South Orange County feel to it.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to actually be fairly close to going to LA, or if you want to need to go to Riverside County for some reason, it's not that hard to get you from here.
Yeah. So next up is Orange Unified School District. So that, as you might imagine, covers the city of Orange, which is a very cute little city. It's got lots of older stuff in Orange.
Yeah, downtown Orange is nice.
Downtown Orange is really nice. And then you've got Villa Park, which is kind of like this tiny little city inside Orange, parts of Anaheim Hills, and then I guess Silverado Canyon, which not many people live out there. So, you got that Irvine Lake, which is kind of random that it's called Irvine Lake, but it's in Orange. So, okay, next up, we've got Anaheim Union High School District. So now, finally, niche.com saying it's a B+. But again, the ranking isn't everything, like I was saying before with that really popular elementary school that's in Dana Point. So, you got to do your own research and find out what's best for you. But obviously, you might imagine it's in Anaheim and parts of Cypress. So, that's where it is. Again, more closer to North County.
Or, Anaheim is a huge job hub in itself. So
sure.
if you just need to be close by, or you really love Disneyland, you're there. And number 15 on this list, so this is the last ranked school district. So this is number 15 on the list.
Yeah.
There are other school districts that they note on here, but a lot of them are elementary school districts, so can't really.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's one of the mini school districts in Huntington Beach. I don't know why they don't rank it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, and especially because it's actually rated pretty well. So it's again, regardless, we're going off of niche.com. It's they're not the end all be all, but it's a nice point of reference.
Yeah,
it's a good
nice
talking
resource.
point.
Oops,
but basically,
so number 15.
Yes.
Santa Ana Unified. So right
and
in the middle.
As you can guess, it's in Santa Ana, and so it's again very centrally located. Santa Ana is another beach. Santa Ana is another job hub. It's actually the county seat. So this is where even the county buildings are. The federal buildings are here too. So, so that's basically here.
Yeah, and Santa Ana also has a lot of really popular charter schools as well. So a lot of schools that have, certain special programs. So
like Orange County School of the Arts?
Yes, like
Number
the Orange
2.
County School of the Arts, which is in Santa Ana. So, that's just, So, that's kind of, these school districts in Orange County, the rankings of the school districts. Again, this is just a resource. You really, in my opinion, you really got to just talk to people who actually go to the schools, because websites only do so much, right?
Yeah, and also the thing is that when people do reach out to me inevitably, they do ask what are the best schools and stuff. I and it feels like I'm doing a copying out, right, by not actually directly answering the question. The problem is I really can't. It's a really hard to answer because one, Orange County, we're very lucky here. We have a lot of it seems like all the school districts at least have some schools that are incredibly, that are great schools to go to. Mm-hmm. So you're not really, you're not really restricted by, it's Irvine or bust or whatever. There's so many good school districts here. So that's where it's kind of like, okay, well, what's important for you beyond the schools? Because it's kind of like, if it's hobbies, if it's like proximity to work, whatever that might be, the school district is kind of less of a primary concern just because they're all so good. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.